Hey, Captain Flynn here with Captain Flynn's Training Academy, and I've got another canine training golden nugget for you. This episode is entitled Lies My Canine Trainer Told Me. I've trained military dogs, corrections dogs, police dogs, civilian dogs, search and rescue dogs, detector dogs. I've trained them all. Literally hundreds of dogs over the course of the last 40 years. And I'm going to tell you that I see a lot of trainers out there telling you things that just aren't true. Here's a trendy thing that people are lying to you about. These canine trainers who say, I only use positive reinforcement. Well, listen, all dogs learn the exact same way. Results that are positively reinforced are likely to be repeated. Results, behaviors that are negatively reinforced are highly likely not to be repeated. That's the essence of all training modules. You can't change that. That's reality. And by the way, it's the same for your kids. If you take any consequences or punishers away, what happens to your kids? If they're only positively reinforced and there's no consequences that they have to live through, guess what? They become spoiled brats, and so will your dog. And by the way, nobody wants to be around spoiled brats. You're going to inflict them on the world. Stop doing that with kids or with dogs. Okay? You don't have to be brutal. You don't have to be unkind. A matter of fact, my motto is loving leadership. But there has to be consequences, and sometimes those consequences are significant for the dog. A denial of a reward, not negative reinforcements such as a leash correction or something of that nature. Those are needed in order to teach a dog that positive reinforcements. Now, look, I believe 10 positive reinforcements for every negative reinforcement makes the behavior happen. And I've had some really, really good results with that. Here's another one they tell you group lessons are as valuable as individual lessons. Nah, not true. I mean, in the first 20 minutes of any group lesson, what are you going to be doing? Stopping your dog from trying to sniff every other butt of every other dog team in that training area, right? And if you get maybe 5 to 10 minutes of individual time with the trainer in that 1 hour session, you'd be lucky. Okay. You're not going to learn a lot from that. I mean, is it better than nothing? Probably. Is it as good as individual lessons? Absolutely not. If you can afford individual lessons, you should pay for those. Here's another one. I don't use blank equipment. Fill in the blank. E-collar, prong collar, slip collar, choke chain, harness, whatever it is. I don't use food reward, whatever it is. Listen, if they're telling you that, they're telling you that they're not proficient in their trade. We are canine trainers. We have to know all the tools and be able to use them, all the tools in the toolbox. It would be like a carpenter coming to your house and saying, hey, I'm going to build your house, but I'm not going to use any hammers. Okay? Come on. What kind of house are you going to get? You're going to do the exact same thing with your dog. Okay? A trainer should be proficient in all the tools and use the tools to the dog's needs that gets the best results in a humane way, of course. Here's another lie they tell you. I only train at my facility. It's where I get the best results. Yeah, I bet you do, but that's where the best results are going to stay because when they come back to your home, they're going to be the same knuckleheads. By the way, I feel the same way about board and train as well. Board and train is training at their facilities. Okay, fine. The dog gets a great behavior. How long before he comes home before he starts acting up? The trainer should come to you. They should be training at your facility. They should be training at your house, in your backyard, on your sidewalks, with the dogs around your dogs that distract them on a daily basis. That's where real training happens. If you can afford to have a trainer come to you individually and in your home, that's as good as it gets. Some trainers will tell you this lie. They will say to you, experience in a dog trainer is overrated. We all got new ideas, and it's the dog training has evolved, and experience is overrated. It's more knowledge now. Truth is that an experienced trainer that doesn't learn new things is a dinosaur, and you need to consider another trainer. But the bottom line is experience is king. Okay, I've been doing this for 40 years. I made a lot of mistakes training dogs early on, and I learned from each one of those mistakes. I never made that same mistake again, but I had to make those mistakes in order to learn. Do you want one of these inexperienced trainers for you and your dog to be one of their mistakes that they learn from? Of course you don't. Listen, if you can afford the steak, you buy the steak. If you can't, then buy a cheeseburger at least. And if you can't afford a cheeseburger, buy yourself a hot dog. I love hot dogs, they're delicious. But if you can afford the steak, get the steak. And the steak is this: experience. Get experienced, knowledgeable trainers to help you at your own facility, at your own home, at your own place that the dog lives. That will get you the best results that you want for you and for your dog. Hey, this has been Captain Flynn with Captain Flynn's Canine Training Academy, and I have another canine training golden nugget. By the way, this is only part one. There's lots more lies that your trainers tell you, and I'll blow the lid off to that next time.